bring up our coach.
Morning.
Yes, she is a coach. Our coach, our CEO, our visionary, none other than Melissa Boston. Some now of you know, I've been knowing this young lady over 17 years, and oh my goodness, she made an impact the first day I met her. Guess what? She fired her boss, and up until then, I didn't know anybody that had fired their boss. 6 figures in corporate America, company car, corner office, traveling the world. But guess what? It wasn't serving her number one purpose, and that was her family. She did not have time freedom. And so she went on to go into MLM, social selling, full time. And because of that, became MVP of 3 companies. Did build teams in over 46 countries, all while homeschooling and maintaining the most important relationship in life, her son. And guys, now 2017, she pivoted, went back into corporate America to head up a cannabis company. Then turned around in 2019, Wakanna was founded. It started out as a CBD and essential oil company, but now it's merged and it's evolved into this health and wellness and soon to be a kind of, I just cannot wait, you guys. Hey, Melissa, are you out there, girl?
Phyllis, I am out here. Good morning. Good morning. I feel the excitement in your voice. I feel the enthusiasm in the air. I mean, everywhere we go, right? It's just this childlike jubilation because we're feeling as if, wow, guys, we are absolutely at the right time, at the right place, and we are about to give birth to the best kept secret the world has never seen yet, right? And so, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much, Phyllis, because every time you introduce me, I'm looking around, like, who is this woman she's about to introduce? I need to meet her because I really owe so much to you. I remember the first time I met you. I mean, I just knew at that moment, with your energy, your tenacity, the flair you had, you stood out in that room, okay? And when I had a chance to realize, oh my goodness, this dynamic woman is on my team, I was so excited. And just to witness what you did in the industry, the records you broke, how you went out your first 90 days, right, after attending that conference, you went out and helped your teammate earn over $100,000 in income. Then you yourself turned around and did the same thing less than 30 days later. I'm telling you what, we are fired up right now because you, yes, are helping us all give birth to unlimited possibilities as our midwife, as our first diamond, our first double diamond. Oh my goodness, guys, and we are just getting started. I tell you what, yeah, we have 4 years of foundation, but when you really think about the next 4 years for this company, can you imagine what it's going to look like? And I just want to say again to everybody on the line, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to thank each and every one of you for waking up to Wakanna, soon to be Wakanna. Oh my goodness. We're talking about now truly, we're at that 10-day countdown, okay? And so I'm going to jump into the meaning of Wakanna, our vision, our mission statement. So the meaning means in the hands of God. And with Wakanna, the meaning for that was gift of God, right? And so we're just excited because we're truly, truly, truly in the right hands. Our mission, we believe health, wealth, freedom, and legacy are our birthright. By offering the most life-changing products and an innovative business, we empower people to elevate to their full potential. Our vision is to elevate the well-being of your body and soul. Isn't that just amazing, guys? And so I'm just thinking back last Monday, when I was on the call, I felt just this sense of so much excitement and enthusiasm. And if you could think that it could actually get better, okay, every day. Phyllis will tell you, if you're listening in on the Diamond Factory, you will see that every day it is getting better and better and more enthusiasm, more excitement, more momentum. Just to see what's even happened with so many people joining forces with us, guys. People are starting to really see the vision of where we're going. But again, this is just the beginning. So if you have not yet booked your conference, you better book conference today because I am here to tell you that our VIP tickets are now officially sold out. Isn't that exciting, guys, to know that those tickets are sold out? We do still have a few general admission tickets left. And so what I would encourage you to do, what I would implore you to do is if you know anyone within driving distance from a conference, anyone who you can get a last-minute plane ticket. You want to get on the phone with them, and you want to push to get as many people there with you, and you're going to understand why. Because what they tell us, again, it's not just about attending conference. That's important, right? That's going to keep you solidified. But if you really want to build a gigantic business, right? If you want to build a legacy business, if you want to build a business that will pay you and your children's children, you want to tap root, right? You want to get people who you sponsored, people they sponsored, and you want to have as many people in those seats with you. So keep pushing, okay? And speaking of conference, just a couple cool announcements to kind of keep everybody in the loop so you'll know what's happening. So for those of you that are flying in on Wednesday, well, guess what? The conference doesn't start till Thursday, but hey, it's always great to be proactive. And I know many of you are coming in, you're meeting with family and friends, and that's great. We're actually getting in also early Wednesday morning, but when we get in, guys, we have a lot of work to do. So we're going to be there really laying the foundation for what's going to happen that weekend. But Thursday, let's talk about Thursday. Hopefully, if you're a Ruby, if you're an Emerald, and you qualified this past November, which means you ranked up to one of those positions, make sure you've been in touch with Kathy Weathersby, okay? She's arranging her with Christian Phillips all of your transportation so that when you get in, you'll have someone to communicate with. So make sure you get with Kathy, guys. She's heard from some of you, but not everyone. So please, please, please get her your air tickets. If you don't, what will happen is you're going to have to get to the airport and Uber once you land, okay? But if you get with Kathy, she's going to ensure that she takes care of you, her, and Christian, and you're going to make sure you're picked up. Because remember, guys, a part of this conference, right, we wanted to do something epic, something different. We wanted to do something actually that I've seen some of the billion-dollar companies use as a strategy. See, they don't just have conferences, right? But they have conferences and tie them into contests, okay? That you get some of the top leaders there. You get people that are pushing for contests there, okay? And the bottom line, these individuals, our rubies and our emeralds, in the month of November, I mean, they crushed it, okay? I mean, these individuals went out and did, some of them over $25,000 in sales, some of them over $50,000 in sales. So while we all can buy a VIP ticket for $249, right, they went out and actually achieved revenues of tens of thousands. And so while we're going to all experience the VIP parties, there's some special attention we're giving them. And guess what? When you get to conference, you're going to learn why you want to go Ruby, why you're going to want to go Emerald, because guess what? You're going to have your chance to not just be a VIP, but to be what we call the rock stars of the company. Because right now, the rubies are really rubies and emeralds, and the diamonds, of course, because diamonds are always the rock stars. But when I think about this conference, everybody's going to feel excited, but we're going to do some special things to really honor their work, their momentum, and their commitment. Now, diamonds, you guys hit over $100,000 in revenue in the month of November, guys. And guess what? You're on your way to where? Dubai. And so some of you are going to leave this conference ready to run and be the first diamond of Wakanna, right? Who's going to be the first diamond to break through when the name change happens, guys? I mean, how exciting is that? And so when I think about the lineup for the weekend, on Thursday night, we said casual chic, right? But I really want you to think rock star, okay? What makes you feel like a rock star? Is it those cut up jeans, right, with high heels and big earrings, right? Is it that maybe shorter skirt, right? I mean, whatever makes you feel like a rock star, okay? You know, when I think about rock stars, you think about people even like Tina Turner, okay? And she knows how to bring it, right? I mean, you think about so many of our phenomenal Motown crew, right? You think about Prince, okay? You think about so many people. And so you just want to think about what is it, you know, because it's casual chic. That means you want to dress up a little bit, but it's not formal, okay? So you want to be comfortable, but you want to come ready to party, okay? Because this is an anniversary celebration. And so, again, we have a rock star theme. And so on Thursday night, just know if you're trying to think about what kind of attire, you know, whether you want to wear leather, right, whatever, right, what makes you feel like a rock star, what you can classify as casual chic, that's the attire for Thursday night. Now, Friday is a free night. And so we have some people who've actually won tickets for the Soul of Motown. So if you're attending that, someone's already been in contact with you, but you are free to join us. What you need to do is just go to the Westgate, and you can actually go then to Ticketmaster and purchase your ticket for the Soul of Motown because it's right there at the host hotel, okay? Now, when you think about the conference, you think about being comfortable, okay? Even though this is not a big venue where you have to walk miles and miles, once you get dropped off, guys, guess what? It's right there in front of you. It's not like the typical convention. You're walking all around the place, guys. But you still want to be comfortable, okay? Because you're going to be there all day. And so just think, but you also want to have some type of business casual, right? You want to be professional, but not overly professional because you want to be comfortable. So when we think about conferences, we think about business casual or just, somewhat casual chic, right? Whatever makes you feel happy. There's no dress code, okay? We're just giving you ideas because people always ask, well, what should I wear? When you think about Saturday night, okay? Now, this is our gala, okay? So when you think about Saturday night, I want you to think about, when you think about rock stars, you think about Hollywood, you think about the red carpet, right? You think about photo ops, right? You think about all things glamorous. And that's what I want you to think about for Saturday night, okay? This is going to be a very glam night. Some people I know are going to turn it over the top, but it's your choice, okay? That's the cool thing about a business like this. It's no pressure. We just want to let you know what we're doing, okay? And then you can do it too, and we can all have fun together. Also, too, if you've done your Zales already, great. If not, remember this, the deadline for those of you who did purchase your hotel through us for this week on the 13th, so make sure you get those in. If you're rooming with someone, most of the time we've been able to figure it out. We've been reaching out, called probably the majority of you. There's a few people that I know our team has not been able to reach. So if you know Brenda Spencer or Dorothy Williams, if they're on this line, or if maybe you know them, can you please tell them to please connect with our team to get with Kathy at Wakanna.com so that we can ensure we know exactly what they're doing. So again, I'm going to repeat those names, Brenda Spencer and Dorothy Williams. And if you need a roommate, okay, if you still are trying to attend and you need a roommate, I have someone right now, she's got a double queen that she's about to finish her final payment, and she is welcoming a roommate. So if you might be that roommate or know someone who might be that roommate, what you need to do is just send an email to the team. You can actually email me, Melissa at Wakanna.com, and I'll make sure I connect you to the team so that you can have that roommate and make your last minute decision to go ahead and get to Las Vegas. Food selections, guys. You've been seeing these surveys go out. Perhaps you need to check your email. Perhaps you need to go into your spam, but we need your vote, okay? And so basically for our big gala, we're going to have some options, vegan options, salmon options, chicken options. And I am pleased to say that salmon is winning the day. And do you know that vegan actually tied with chicken? I mean, that just warms my heart to know so many people are really making choices to go healthier with the fish options and the vegan options. And hey, guess what? Chicken, hey, if your blood type allows it, hey, good for you. Also, too, don't forget that if you're on the 420 conference website, right, 420lifestyleconference.com, there's an option where you can actually go prepay for your lunches. If you don't prepay for your lunch, we might have a few extra that day, but there's no guarantee there'll be lunch there for you. So you might have to do Uber Eats or something like that, guys. Maybe you brought your own, but we really don't encourage that because you don't want it sitting there the whole day. Our lunch is being prepared fresh so that you can get your lunch fresh on Friday and Saturday. So again, go to 420lifestyleconference.com. And when you're going through that website, it's going to give you an option when you look at the schedule. When it talks about lunchtime, you can click there, select your lunch, and yes, we have vegan options, turkey options, and even roast beef. Okay, so go make sure you get that done. Speaking of what's happening this week, guys, some exciting things going on this week. On Wednesday, guess what's happening on Wednesday, guys? It's Scan Day, okay? So we're excited because we're going to go see the team showcase our flat belly lifestyle. Please plug into that. But I do have a special request, a special announcement. For our rubies, for our emeralds, for our diamonds, we're giving you an open invitation, okay? An open invitation where you can join us early on Wednesday. You can join us at 5 p.m. Central. And guess what's going to happen? This weekend, we had a small focus group. We kept it small because what I realized, it was Easter weekend, so we didn't want to send it out to everybody. So we sent it out to about 10 people. We had about 5 people show up live, 5 people on our Zoom. So it was great. We had a chance to do an initial focus group, really showcasing our social media direction. And I'm telling you what, that team was fired up. When you see what's happening with Wakanna, it is going to blow you away. I mean, it is so exciting where we're going. And a lot of the things that our social media team is doing, it's designed to help empower your business. So even though, yes, it's a corporate strategy, a lot of this is going to roll into the app so that you can customize some of these phenomenal strategies we're putting together and go out and market these through your own page. So that's exciting. But on Wednesday, this focus group is going to really focus in on the presentation. So you're going to have a chance to see the new presentation, okay? And if you think you've seen it, you've not, because guess what? It has changed, okay? It has changed even since last week, okay? And in fact, a part of the change is the color, the background. What you're going to notice is we're kind of pivoting into a brand direction that's really giving us brand clarity. And it's so great working with so many experts that are really helping us to really identify, really what it is we want to accomplish with Wakanna and the look and the feel from a brand perspective, okay? And so after having a few strategy meetings, just made a decision we did as a team that, hey, we're going to do something a little bit different with the presentation. It's still exciting, but when you see it, oh my goodness, guys, it's going to blow you away. So if you want to have a sneak preview, okay, and if you want to see this, right, then you're going to want to be there at 5 p.m. Now, if you're not a Ruby, if you're not an Emerald or Diamond, and you still feel like, hey, I really want to know what's happening, just send me an email, guys, Melissa@Wakanna. Anyone that wants to attend, send that email, melissa@wakanna.com, because I want to keep it to about 12 people or less. So we don't want a big crowd. We want just a few leaders, especially if you are a Ruby or above. We do need to make sure we have a nice mixture. But I don't want to leave anyone out that might just feel that they have some input. Perhaps you can come with some ideas, right? Please bring those ideas. Be prepared to give us your feedback, because we're going to showcase that and just a little bit about what's going on with social media. Also, too, guys, I want to remind everyone that if you bought multiple tickets for the conference, multiple tickets, and some of these tickets are in your team's names, we're actually finalizing the list for those VIP tickets, which means we're going to print. So they're going to be ready. So we need to make sure they don't all say your name 5 times, okay? So make sure you get with Christian at Wakanna, and he will get you all the things sorted out related to how you purchased your ticket and all the extra names that belong on your ticket, okay? Now, guys, I'm going to just say this, before I go on to the next point. Again, we've emphasized this so many times. This is our first conference ever, right? In person. We've done Zooms and virtual conferences, but we know the importance of being at the first conference, guys. When you really think about building wealth with Wakanna, you want to be there, be positioned, and make sure you are able to capitalize on the momentum that's going to happen when we leave that conference, guys. And, one of the things that it gave me goosebumps last night. I was going through some of the presentation and, one of the segments now, and you're going to see that this is a segment now in our presentation. So thank you, Jarvis Wright, for really helping us to add that, because he was the first to really point it out. We've read it before, but he did it in a way that I've never seen. I mean, he really broke it down. But he talked about, the book, Your First Year in Network Marketing and Harvard Business, right? And it talks about finding an opportunity of a lifetime, okay? And it says you first have to find a company that's at least 18 months old, because the majority of these type of companies, if they're going to fail, guys, they fail within their first 18 months. I want you to think about that for a second. I can tell you so many people I knew who started businesses, right? Some of them at the same time as us, some of them just a year ago. And guess what? They're already out of business. So the fact that we're standing here strong, the fact that we're standing here tall, the fact that we have hundreds of thousands of dollars that we were able to reinvest in a new brand, that tells you you're at the right place at the right time, especially when you think about our humble beginnings of where we started. It tells you that this is the it we've all been looking for. But then it goes on and it talks about if that opportunity has less than 500,000 people, it's a great opportunity. But guess what? If it has less than 100,000 people, it is an opportunity of a lifetime. And I want you to think about today where you're positioned We have thousands of distributors, right? Not tens of thousands, right? We're talking about just over 4,000 distributors. We have 27, probably now close to 28,000 customers. So even if you add all of that up, guys, we are still far below 100,000, which means this is an opportunity of a lifetime. But here's what it goes on to say that really, really, really resonates. I know it's going to resonate with you, but it says the first 100,000 to 150,000 people that join are going to actually experience 80% of the wealth. You know, we often give the Amway story, and the craziest thing is I was actually prospected by this guy. It was a Caucasian guy. He was a young guy, probably about 22 years old, right? And I was sitting in Panera Bread. I was on my computer, on the phone, just looking like probably I was doing a million things at once. And he was listening in, kind of noticing that. And he was like, wow, you know what I mean? You are someone who gets things done. He said, you're a busy person. So he was trying to prospect me, guys. And it was funny because I kind of called him out on what he was doing because I already knew, right? And, you know, and he said he was with Amway, right? And I said, that is amazing. I mean, because here it is in 2023, and you got these young folks still joining Amway just as excited. So I gave him encouragement. We exchanged numbers. He says, well, what would you tell somebody like me for somebody like you, obviously? He says, you know, I know, you're already owning a company and I'm doing Amway. He says, what's the best advice from us to connect? I said, hey, guess what? I love networking. I said, so you know what? Let's exchange information because you never know. I love networking, and some of the best ideas I got are from people that are not in my business. They may never join the business, but it's just about building your network, right? So we exchanged information, guys. But the point is this, okay? Here's the point. The point is when you think back at Amway, okay, there were 100 people that actually were positioned with Amway from the start. It was 100 of them. Do you know that 95 of the original founders of Amway, right? They went running for the hills, okay? They left, okay? They're like, we are out of here, okay? We are done. And if you think about the 5 people that remained, okay, after they went through all of that, and you think about the fact that they are a double-digit billion-dollar company, so 10 billion plus, and do you know that those 5 people are overriding the majority of the wealth at Amway? And here you are positioned with a company that is the best kept secret that no one's heard of, right? And you're here with us at the beginning of the beginning. And another piece of advice, one of the best pieces of advice I heard, someone said, and this was actually a guy from Shark Tank, Robert. He said, he said, don't start a business, because everybody's coming to him saying, hey, what kind of business should I start? Or, this, and that. He says, don't start a business. He says, you don't start a business. He says, what you do is you solve a problem. He says, go out and see what is it that the world needs. And when you can bring a problem, when you can bring a solution to the problem, he said, that's why you start a business. And that was so profound, guys. When you think about that, it is so profound. And the reason why it's so profound is because I can think back at our story. For those of you who've heard me say this, I've said when I first, was in the industry, having lots of success with it, on the advisory council for some of the big billion-dollar companies, right? Flying around the world, built businesses in 46 countries. One of the things that I told myself just after witnessing the pains, okay, and the money and the resources that has to be spent on the infrastructure, what I said is I will never start a network marketing business, right? And that's why we now say never, because you never know what you're going to end up doing, right? Now, here's what changed that thought in my mind. Because, again, for me, I'm thinking, if you don't have $10 million to blow, I'm talking about blowing. Think about those companies that have failed in 18 months. Most of them had millions of dollars that's gone, boom, like a vapor. It disappeared. The money's not there no more, right? Because they started something that went out of business. Some of them had 20 million, 30 million, boom, like a vapor. It's gone, right? And so I knew based on my experience, I knew based on the companies that I was working with, at the end of the day, if I didn't have that kind of money to blow, there is no way I'm starting a business like this, right? But here's how life works. When I was asked back in 2017, by a mentor of mine to be the CEO of his company, okay? And at the time, I'm thinking, okay, what is this about? And then I learned it was cannabis, and it's like, wait a minute, okay? I was the vice president for Students Against Drinking and Driving. I know Phyllis often says mothers against drinking and driving. I was in high school, So students against drinking and driving. And I was also the DARE captain, right? It's kind of like, what would my grandparents think of me? What would my mom think of me, right? Being a CEO of a cannabis company. But again, sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. And the most expensive thing you could own is a closed mind. And I'm so thankful, thank you, God, right, for allowing me to be open-minded enough to at least listen in to what his team had to say. And what blew my mind away is I knew that this company, they were struggling, right? I mean, we're talking about very little resources, right? Very minimal money that they were given. Again, that's why a lot of times African-American companies struggle. We're the least to get venture capital funding, right? We find it hard to raise money, right? And so the bottom line, they were struggling, okay? But what I heard the testimonials. And I said, wait a minute. I've been around companies that have had as much as $40 million set aside for research and development, trying to take biotechnology solutions to fix the world and to help the world. And guess what? What I witnessed on that call, right, blew me away compared to any type of product that I'd ever heard as far as testimonials in this space. So I knew that they were onto something, and I knew that we needed to get behind his vision and to do whatever he's asked and to be a part of that vision, right? And guess what? Said yes. You know, we took that struggling company, and it was like the Titanic, I promise you guys. And it's like you're trying to turn it around in the middle of the ocean, right? I mean, they hadn't paid commissions for months. They didn't even have a comp plan that calculated, okay? I mean, they just had a lot of challenges. We think, you know, having a product arrive late is a challenge, guys. Well, imagine you're in a business where you can't get a check, okay, for 9 months, okay, but you're still there. And that's what we came into. And within 30 days, we were paying out commissions. Things were flowing, okay? Then all of a sudden, we broke over $100,000 in revenue. Then we broke over $200,000 in revenue for the month, okay? And all of a sudden, momentum started happening. We had an event, right? Here in Chicago, about 700 people in that room, and we were like, wow, this is exciting, okay? And what I loved about what we did back then is we really fixed, right, and provided a solution to a problem. And the solution to the problem then was really looking at the fact that in network marketing, it was really, in most companies, about the top 1%. And what I loved is the fact that for the first time, we were able to create a comp plan where our team was winning. They were making money, okay? And so when it came to that crossroads where we knew that this no longer served us, not because the business didn't work, the business was phenomenal. Our team was in love with it, but it was more the personalities, okay, between us and the owner, right? And so it was one of those moments where it hit me in the gut because I was thinking, I'm like, what in the world am I going to do? I can't take my team back to network marketing, okay? Because I know the traditional network marketing, it's a phenomenal industry, but it's just unfortunate that so many times we're just in these companies that it's about the top 1%. The comp plans just aren't paying the people in the middle. The comp plans aren't paying the average person. We need the average person to win. So what are we going to do? Are we going to go out and research so many companies till we find something like this? Or is it possible, God, that you put me here at this moment where we're going to now create our own brand? And here's why I know that this is God sent, guys, because there's no way you can tell me on anybody's, best wish list, right, that they could say they're going to start a company, right, from scratch, not with millions of dollars, guys, but we're talking about less than $300,000, right? We're going to be able to start a company and do it in 45 days. There's no way. But guess what, guys? That's how we started Wakanna. It was on a hope. It was on lots of prayer. It was lots of grit effort. It was team no sleep. It was working day in, day out. It was doing things that I promise you at the time, if I had to go back and be in that moment, I don't know how I could get the strength. I don't know how Phyllis could get the strength, but we did it. We persevered. And guess what? Do you know that even without a website, our very first month, our second month, our third month, we didn't have a website. So how in the world do we do over $250,000 in sales in a month? How do we pay out commissions? Well, guess what? That took going back and pulling out that grit effort, right? That work ethic, right? And putting those Excel spreadsheets together, keeping track of every order and paying those commissions out without a website. But we still paid people every single month. And that's the power of vision, because God will give provision. And all of a sudden, where there seemed like there was no way, there's a way, right? When the mountain you don't think is going to move, it just gets out the way. And that's really the story of how Wakanna came to be, because we knew that there was serious problems and we wanted to be the solution. And here's the thing, guys, that really, really brings this all home. When we now think about where we're at and our position with Wakanna, how we've now elevated the brand so we can now take it around the world, we can go global. But now when you think about our product, we know that CBD is a product that definitely brings lots of solutions. But the reality is, what is our business proposition? What makes us different from every other company out there, right? Because at the end of the day, you can get CBD from a gas station. Obviously, we have high quality. Ours are tested. But when you really think about the heart and soul of our business, what makes us different, why we are destined to be a billion-dollar brand, is because we have identified another problem, and we are providing a solution that the world has not seen. Because when we talk to people, when we ask them, do you know your blood type? Do you know what's happening on the cellular level? People say what no to that. Just like back in 2017 when people had no clue about CBD, right? And we were there to educate them. We were the pioneers in that field. And that's what gives us so much excitement, guys, because we've had this solution now for over a year now, right? I mean, over a year, we started this whole new division of our company, but we've been moving with tools. They're like dinosaur tools, right? I mean, you have to do things like get people on a Zoom, right? A lot of times it's just not duplicatable. And so what we're excited about is when we decided to rebrand this, to launch Wakanna, it also was designed to elevate your business. So everything that seemed impossible would be possible, so that you could have a brand that could truly move at the speed of light, to bring you apps that allow you to go out there and do this business, right? And 10 times your business, increase your sales, take it to the next level. And that's why we're so excited, guys, because we've had this success, again, being the best kept secret no one heard about, right? We've had this type of success with a website that's good, right? But it isn't good enough, right, to go to billions of dollars. We've had this success without having apps, without having all this rebranding, without all of these amazing things that you're about to witness here in Las Vegas. So can you imagine what the next 4 years are going to look like? God, this is so exciting, guys. And we are here at the beginning of the beginning. And I know, again, it's just that story of connecting the dots, because I can even think back in 2013 when I wrote the book Proverbs Diet. And Phyllis, you were there to be a part of that. Phyllis was in the book, and we've always been working together. That's why I say Phyllis is truly my right hand, because we're always together, and together we can create so much magic, guys. But back then, when I wrote that book, do you know that we talked about in that book what the world was going to look like in 2030? But at the time, again, it was an idea, but we didn't realize that we would be birthing a company, okay, that would be the solution to this crisis that's coming in 2030. Because what they're telling us that by 2030, the number one killer for people 20 to 49 is going to be colon cancer. And here it is with our flat belly lifestyle, the liquid colonic, the mucus and parasite buster. And we're hearing testimonials from people that were going to go through colon surgery. And now they're testimonials, guys. So we know we're here at the right place at the right time. We hope you are as excited as we are. And we want to invite you to get on and rebound, guys, because guess what's happening right now? We are rebounding with Wakanna. So jump on right now. I know we're a little bit over. So jump on and get on that rebounder. At 2:30, we want to invite you to saveourstrands.com with our trichologist, Doris Mosley. At 7:30, we want to invite you to our corporate Zoom that you can really hear more about our business and what we're about. And then tomorrow, wake up to the Diamond Factory. Wednesday, of course, scan. Okay, so let's make sure you tune into the scan. If you want to be a part of that focus group, let us know. On Saturday, okay? This is just something we've been saying we're going to do something on a Saturday before conference. So this Saturday, mark your calendar, because we're going to do something very special. Flyer is going out, but it's going to be our last event prior to conference. So you don't want to miss it. Let's pack it out. And with that said, I want you to have a Wakanna day. We're going to see you at the top, the very top, the tip top.